Welcome to From the Game to Grace, the podcast where real life begins after the final whistle. Hosted by Jarius and Candace Hayes, a former pro athlete and his powerhouse wife. This show dives deep into what happens when the spotlight fades, the crowd goes silent, and the real work begins. It's not just about football, it's about faith, identity, marriage, mental health, family, and learning how to grow through what you go through. From championship dreams to personal heartbreak, Jarius and Candace don't just talk about it, they've lived it. So if you're navigating a new season, wrestling with purpose, or just trying to hold it all together, you're in the right place. Let's get real. Let's heal. This is From the Game to Grace.
Hey, welcome to From the Game to Grace. I am the co-host of this show, From the Game to Grace, the podcast, and I have a very special guest here, Kendall Harrison with City Movers of Huntsville. And Kendall, we would like to thank you for being our guest today. And this is pretty special for me because he is my second-born child. He's my second-born son, and I have watched him grow as a baby to a young man, and just to see him sometimes now we're kind of talking about his entrepreneurship and how sometimes I've seen him fall and I've seen him get back up, and I've seen him be so resilient in so many ways and not give up in the journey, because it's easier to give up than to keep going. So I appreciate you for your resilience and your like you say, I'm getting it out the mud. So I appreciate that. I appreciate your hard work and your work ethic. I am so proud of you. I just want to tell you that. And so let's kind of dive in, let them know how you all got started. What were some of the peaks? What were some of the good times? What were some of the challenges that you had? And so and so this is what happened. He lost a scholarship. He's never been afraid of work. I tell you that much. I started him out with my first business, which was my cleaning business. And I just kind of had him working with me and kind of, building up a work ethic. And I think he did a pretty good job. And he didn't look back from there. He, started, doing other things like lawn care. He would go around the neighbors and ask them, hey, can I cut your grass? And just already he had that entrepreneurship spirit already, being at a young age. And I knew he would do great things, early on. So let's take them on this journey, Kendall. And so let's take them back to I know that, but for the listeners, they don't know that you lost a scholarship. You had a full ride scholarship and you lost that scholarship. As far as losing that scholarship, what was that? How did that affect you mentally? What was your thought process with that? And tell us the bounce back, because it's always, I look at you as you if you fall, you're gonna bounce back, and it's not gonna take long. You're gonna bounce back. So let's kind of talk about the fall, but definitely let's hone in on the bounce back of it.
Absolutely. So regarding the scholarship, again, I am Kendall Harrison, the founder of City Movers. It is a pleasure being here from the Grace.
The fall, but definitely let's hone in on the bounce back of it.
Absolutely. So regarding the scholarship, again, I am Kendall Harrison, the founder of City Movers. It is a pleasure being here from the Grace to the Game podcast. We're gonna dive deep and we're gonna give y'all some heat, right? So we're gonna give it to y'all raw, unfiltered, cut, simple, straight to the point. So back in 2015, right, I did some adolescent things while I was being in college and lost my full scholarship. The challenges and the pain and how I overcame that, right? So, I was honestly very heartbroken as I was going through this journey, having something that you've been working for since you was a kid all the way until you're 18 years old and going to play college football and things of that nature. Really, when you lose something that you work hard for, it can be very devastating, right? So I was really mad, bitter at the world. And, by me regaining my trust and getting back into school, hit a wall. And they told me, hey, we don't have any more money for you, scholarship money. So just imagine getting expelled from school, losing everything, free ride.
Yeah.
Now, college tuition paid for, just imagine having everything paid for free. It's been taken away from you in just a matter of seconds.
Yeah.
So working out, doing what I was supposed to do, gained my scholarship back, went to a community college, and a year later, I'm there back at the school. I'm ready. And they told me, hey, you don't have any money. So it was very heartbreaking, very devastating again, like I said earlier. And what I noticed out of that, being stripped from everything that's being taken from me, I really had to sit back and lean into my own understanding with God and ask him, what is my true purpose? What am I being called here to do on earth? So sometimes your best lesson is your about this.
Oh, yeah.
So that being said, I was figuring out life, going through college, asking myself, what am I good at? Yes, very good at work ethic, right? But what am I being called to do? What's my true purpose? So I worked as a mover in college, and I saw, hey, this is a great opportunity to learn from a system, right? So when you learn from a system, learn the system and see what you can implement in your life. And basically, I started working there and learned the whole foundation on how to have processes, right? Because everything in business is about systems.
That's it.
So you don't have to reinvent the wheel, copy and paste, right?
Yeah. So
was working in that, found a passion and found a hobby that, hey, this is something that I'm good at. So was working in that industry for a little while, saw that Huntsville is a top 3 city to grow in the United States of America.
Right.
So I sat down, did some research and said, hey, what am I good at? What's my calling? And I always wanted to help people.
Right.
And I always wanted to help people to their fullest potential, right? So did that, started working in college, and that's how we got started with the moving company. So
you did that, but here is what we left out. You did graduate. You graduated with a degree, and you worked in logistics as a logistics engineer. That's something that they don't know, and I think that's something that's a bounce back. Hey, you failed, you lost your scholarship, but you got back up, and you worked back to get your degree. So you got your degree in logistics engineering, and you worked at a Fortune 500 company. And as a mother, that I was proud. I was proud of him, for bouncing back. Because some kids just kind of, or some people just kind of like They kind of sometimes might get into a depressed state and just be like, just forget it. I'm done. I'll just go and, just do something and just be done with my life or whatever. Just, with setbacks. And that does happen. That happens to many people. So what did you learn from your bounce back, getting your degree and then working for that 500 Fortune company? What did you what did it teach you about the bounce back and then working in corporate? What were some of the things that that kind of resonated with you at that particular time when you were working in corporate?
Okay, that's a great question. But with that bounce back, again, by me doing adolescent things, being expelled from school, it taught me to deprogram my mind or reprogram my mind, because when you're set to do one thing, that's all you know, right? So what are you truly being called to do? So with getting my degree, it taught consistency, work ethics, do things by the book, being very detail oriented, because everything you have to do is learning the system. So with learning the system by going to school, learning the book sense and learning the technicals in corporate America, it teaches you how systems should work, right? So with that being said, learning the culture, learning to set up meetings, follow-ups, things of that nature that's needed to run an operation of a business. So with me working in the moving industry and going to school and going to the corporate 500 companies, it really taught me about systems, high level thinking, what to do, and things of that nature to figure out, everything that you need to know.
So definitely, it was a definite pivot that you had to pivot, and it took you to a different environment, and that environment taught you things, which is good. I like that. That was a good answer. So so let's fast forward now that you've been running your business, so you were running your business while you were working as a logistics engineer. And what was your mindset? What was what was your mindset at the time like? And I know you walked away from a 9 to 5 job, making really good money. And my question was to you, when you came to me and when you said, "Hey, I think I just want to just do this full time." And my thing was, I told you, I said, "Well, okay, so for me as being an entrepreneur, you've seen kind of like, the things that I've went through, and everything is not going to be peaches and cream. Everything is not going to go like you want it to go." And I just kind of gave you, just some insights on that. And I said, well, but whatever you do, I'm behind you. So if that's what you want to do, go and do that. But what was that last straw that took you where you says, "Hey, I'm just gonna step out. I'm gonna step out on faith. I'm gonna risk it. I'm gonna bet on me. I'm gonna bet on me." So what was that? What what pulled you? What was that one thing that just pulled you and you just said, "Hey, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna go all in"?
It was a wake-up call from God. I knew I had a purpose. And with knowing a purpose, sometimes you gotta answer your calling. When God's telling you, "Hey, I got something for you," and you know that you don't really want to be there, and your mind is telling you, how much more are you willing to take? And with the influx of Huntsville growing, my phone kept going off. I asked myself, either I'm going to be 50-50 with the corporate job and the business, or I'm going to have to give something up to go 100.
Yeah.
So something is going to be lacking.
Yeah, absolutely.
So also knowing the capabilities of business, right? Knowing what you can make and what you can generate versus being set at a certain cap.
Yeah.
So just learning that and just
It's
learning,
no cap. It's no cap.
right?
Yeah, it's no cap.
Just learning the risk with reward, because with the risk there can't be reward unless you go out there and have faith. And I honestly, my last straw was not allowing me to take it anymore, because I told myself 3 to 5 years. When I was in college in 2019, I did it in 3.5. So I no longer didn't want to work there. So it wasn't serving me a purpose. Because if I mentally wasn't there, then why continuously
do something
that
you don't like?
It's not always about the money. It's about your passion on what you actually like doing.
And it's so many people that are working jobs now that they're really not happy, but they're just kind of going through the motions. Right. So what made you, when people ask why a moving company, what do you tell them? Why? Why did you choose a moving company?
Wow, that's a great question. Personally, I want to help families move from point A to point B, right? And my type of industry, we're dealing in a high stress environment, knowing how to rectify things and being able to move these families because they may be moving the first time. And with them moving can cause a lot of distraught, emotional things. And it just puts a smile on my face by moving families into their new home.
That's good. Okay. So let me ask you this. What do you want people to feel about you after they meet you, work with you?
I want them to know that I gave them my all. I want the best for them, even if it's not working in my company. I want them to develop a leadership mindset, because I'm not going to be a person where I'm going to hold them to the next opportunity, because I want to breed everybody to become their own boss. And knowing that it's capable to do things, as long as you can mentally strengthen your mind to say, hey, I can do this. And if I see somebody that's young, I have the opportunity to do the same thing by working in the system, and you're teaching them the blueprints as they're learning and developing them into a younger adult.
That's good. So in your 6 years of business, what's something that really has made you proud?
Building relationships.
That's good.
With building relationships, the money is always going to be there. But building relationships is very key, because you don't know who can put you in position that you met throughout your journey. So just knowing how to build those relationships up, not being transactional, and just learning those type of things, and learning how you can be a solution to other people, knowing how to help other people. Because if you got a solution-based mindset, you will never run out of money. Yeah. If you have a skill set of sales, and then sales is a skill set. So without sales, you don't have a business, because that's the start of anything.
Yeah. So if you could go back to your 19-year-old self, what would you tell him?
Leave the women alone. And focus on the bag.
Oh my God.
Leave the women alone and focus on the bag.
All right.
Yeah.
So what's something people misunderstand about you, and it takes to build eh, something real to sustain for your 6 years in business? What is something some people misunderstand about that?
I wholeheartedly believe when God gives you a vision, it's not for everybody to
It's
see.
not. That's it.
What you can tell them is what they can't visualize. So I would say people will be compliance with your struggles, but when you level up, they will be your convictions. So learning that you will be understood,
Misunderstood.
misunderstood at all times, because you have to have the resilience of what 90% people aren't willing to want to do. So everybody sees the glitz and the glam for the result in 5 to 6 years, but they don't understand the isolation, the willpower to do things repetitively and consistency over years and years and years. It's not about the motivation. It's about the consistency, because what happens when the motivation dies? So men are called if you are chosen.
Yeah.
So sometimes with being chosen, you're having to put all the weight up on you. And God is going to give you something that you can handle.
Yeah.
So, yes, it may be very overbearing, very emotional, feels like the world is on you. But at the end of the day, when you chosen, you have the obligation to fulfill what his needs are for life. Yeah.
That's good. So where do you see yourself 10 years from now? Not professionally, but as a man, as maybe one day a father or a legacy builder. Where do you see yourself 10 years from now?
Great question. Well, my first 5 years was to obtain 3 to 4 trucks. We did accomplish 4 trucks within 5 years. Outside of the business spectrum, I honestly wanted to start a foundation, a scholarship foundation from Ramada Austin High School in 2014, because that's something that I've always wanted to do, by what success means to you and why do you want to go to college. And by doing it every semester, by 3 to 4 participants, by showing them, hey, look, we have the same people that looks like you. So just knowing that somebody cares about you, because there are a lot of people that's impossible and don't have the access and don't have the resources, by, giving them a scholarship and foundation. And also, having a strategy and an exit plan for business developments when college students are graduating as seniors, to know how to build a business, what to do in pivotal times, and knowing the tax laws and the tax codes, knowing what to do, because I feel like a lot of people aren't preparing people for business whenever that they want to become entrepreneurs. So just having that catapult of going to Tuskegee, Alabama A&M, Alabama State, by having a camaraderie of young individuals like myself to help them out. And it's all about helping people, because when God calls you to do the purpose, it's not about yourself. It's about how many people you can bless and how much value that you can add to people. And not necessarily that as well. I also want to create a legacy for my family, for my future wife and my kids. Just show them, hey, look, we can change the trajectory and the disparity amongst people that may look like us. And
Absolutely.
just being a community action taker wholeheartedly. So that's where I see myself in the next 5 years, besides the CEO hat, right? So
That's right.
yeah.
So with you being in leadership, so what has leadership taught you about navigating pressure, judgment, and expectations?
Ooh, that's a good one. Learning how to remain calm, learning how to process things before you react.
Yeah.
Because
Not crashing out.
Yeah, that's true. But leadership comes with pain.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes when a leader is looking for answers, you don't have nobody to go to find the answers.
Yeah.
So you figuring out is just as much as the organization is. And with that leadership, sometimes leadership has responsibilities that people aren't willingly capable of doing. You know, it's about that having that emotional stability, being very strong-minded when things do come, being able to pivot quick, being able to think quick on your feet, being able to respond timely. It's not about the product and service. It's about how you respond to things to gain the clarity and to gain the understanding when people aren't having an understanding with you, right? So, yeah.
That's good. So what's one lesson you want anyone listening, especially other men that look like you, men to walk away with from this conversation? What is one thing that you want them to, to take from this, from listening to you, the lesson?
The lesson I would want them to take away.
Especially men that look like you.
Yeah. I would say follow God, have faith. I know it's more than one thing. I would just say lean into God. You know, sometimes people have to go on a journey and learn their purpose and learn how to find God. So sometimes that can take time. So just learning God first, putting God first at all times. Yeah. Because without God, none of this is possible. Just as much as how you want the business, how you want the money's not yours. That's God's money. So it's about you being a distributor to help other people and to create value.
That's good.
Yeah.
So, if you could tell the listeners and the viewers how to, if they're wanting to move, how to contact your organization, give them a website, a phone number, and then we'll also have it in the description. So if you could kind of tell them, how they can get in contact with you, and then we'll wrap this up.
Yeah, absolutely. So the company is City Movers of Huntsville. You can reach us at 256-337-6888, or you can go through the proper channels, www.rocketcitymoversofhuntsville.com. We do have a client landing page to fill out your web submission form. Once that web submission form is completed, it'll go through the query, and the sales rep will be reaching out to you. And it's a pretty simple process, 5 to 10 minutes to go through your contents, and our sales reps will get to you as soon as possible. And we're open Monday through Saturday, 7 a.m. all the way to 5 p.m.
All right. Thank you, Kendall. And thank you for joining us today from the Game2Grace. And this has been the show. Listen, hit that subscribe button, like it, share it, and then just allow more grace to those that need grace in this season. And that's all we have for you today. And we will talk to you later. Peace out.
So, y'all.
Thanks for listening to From the Game to Grace with Jarius and Candace Hayes. If today's episode encouraged you, challenged you, or just made you feel a little less alone, do us a favor. Subscribe, share it with someone who needs it, and leave a review to help more people find the show. You can follow us on Instagram, YouTube, and Facebook. Just search at From the Game to Grace. That's From the Game, the number 2, Grace. Remember, no matter what you've lost or where you've been, grace is always the next play. We'll see you next time.